Welcome to my kitchen. We have bananas and avocados. Hi, hello. I have opinions on something and I want to share it. So, my name's Amber and today we are in my kitchen. I hope you like it. It's the only place in my house that I can really film. I know that the lighting is bad. I can't do anything about that either. Sorry. It's not important to the video. So yeah, this is my kitchen. It's where all the tea is spilt, honey. Hate that I said that. So what I want to talk about today is something that I've noticed that has really bothered me since I graduated from college a month ago and have done nothing productive since except go on TikTok and kind of get followers on there. Hi, if you're from there. How's it going? Be prepared to be disappointed. I have noticed that people have shows that are universally admired, especially in the Gen Z generation, that we've caught on like streaming sites like Hulu and Netflix that have kind of gotten this sort of revival. And the one that I'm talking about the most is Friends. Now, I have no problem with Friends. If you like Friends, you can watch Friends. Personally, I just don't find it funny. Every episode is the same. There's nothing really intense that happens, and it's an excellent show to put on in the background. Basically, what I'm gonna say is that you can like what you're gonna like, but I am gonna clown on Friends a little bit because I don't like it. I don't think it's good, and I think it's ridiculous that show gets so much clout and trends like 3 times a year because of something Phoebe Buffay said like 20 years ago, and my show barely gets any kind of recognition. If you're wondering what show I am talking about, it's the 1985 hit series. That's right, The Golden Girls. So The Golden Girls is a phenomenal show that went on from 1985 to 1992. It lasted for about 7 seasons, and it also stars America's grandma, Betty White. So the basic premise of this show is that there's 4 older women that are living together in Miami after 2 of their husbands have died, the other one's divorced, and the 4th one is the divorcee's mom. Basically, it just shows their everyday life, living in what is essentially, their golden years. Hence the name, Golden Girls. I feel like this show often gets overlooked because everybody's like, I don't want to listen to boomer humor about, how much kids suck and all this kind of stuff. And I don't even know if this can technically classify as boomer humor, because is Betty White a boomer? Like, what generation is she? Like the sliced bread generation? I don't know. But it's not boomer humor, okay? It's not like, welcome to Comedy Island. I mean, some of it is. Some of it didn't age well, I'm not gonna lie.
Actually, they haven't.
You must be Michael's parents.
Mama, put your glasses on.
Oh, my Lord.
This is mud on our faces. We're not really black.
I'm not even gonna pretend like that didn't happen because it did. That's bad. It's bad. But overall, I think it's just baller for its time, and I think it needs to be appreciated for that, and I'm never gonna be one that says, it was their time, we can't blame them for it. Grandpa just said the N-word in Walmart because that's what he's used to. No, that's not okay. You can't do that kind of stuff. It's bad. But in this case only, I will take the bad because there's a lot of good in the show too, especially when you think about the fact that it was created in the mid-'80s. So the show is more about 4 women living and bitching about their old age in Miami. It's about 4 women who are growing and learning their new self-purpose now that they're not mothers and grandmothers and they're not wives necessarily anymore. They have their freedom again in Miami. And it's fucking phenomenal. It's one of those shows that you can just put on in the background, not pay attention to for about 15 out of the 20 minutes that is the episode. Look back, catch a joke or two, understand the entire premise and the point it's trying to make, and then go back to your fucking laptop. It's great. It's got laugh tracks so you know when shit's funny. It's a non-thinking kind of show, but it hits different. It's got episodes about addiction, menopause, sex ed, immigration, sexual assault. It's got so many themes of self-love. It's got a lot of episodes that deal with LGBTQ plus issues. Like, it even covers fucking AIDS. There's a whole episode where Betty White thinks that she's gotten AIDS and she's freaking out about it. They were talking about this in the 80s. Dude, the president wasn't even talking about AIDS in the 80s. And Betty White's over here just slapping it on down. Huh? We need to be paying attention to this. So the way that I'm gonna do this video is that I'm gonna introduce each character, and with the introduction of the character, give you kind of like who they are, their personality traits, and then fix in clips and stuff that kind of exemplify all this kind of stuff, and I'll be talking about specific episodes and specific things that go along with it. So now, without any further ado, let us introduce you to the girls. I don't know, is that how they do it on The Bachelorette? So you got 4 main characters. In my opinion, it's only 3, because I don't really count Sophia, but she is a good character. She just doesn't really add anything or like necessarily have any intense storyline. She has a few here and there, but other than that, she kind of just barges in and like roasts the shit out of everybody every now and then. Okay, so they are as follows. There's Dorothy Zbornak, who is played by the beautiful Bea Arthur. There's Rose Nyland, who was played by Betty White, America's grandma. There's Blanche Devereaux, who was played by Rue McCallaghan. And then finally, Sophia Petrillo, who is Dorothy's mom in the show, but basically the actress was the same age as everybody else, so they kind of just aged her up, and she's played by Estelle Getty. So the first character that we are going to go through is the one that I kind of consider to be like not the weak link, like she's still dope, she's still a cool-ass grandma, like I'd kill for her, kill for that little Italian firecracker, I would. So let's get into Sophia Petrillo.
Sophia, why are you in such a bad mood?
Forgive me, Rose, but I haven't had sex in 15 years and it's starting to get on my nerves.
So what's the crucial part to know about Sophia is that she's Dorothy's mom. She moved back in with her after Dorothy divorced her terrible fucking husband, fuck Stan, and she came back to live with her while she's living with Blanche and Rose. She's old as hell and she's from Sicily. I mean, she's cute, she's small, she's got a catchphrase.
Picture it. Sicily, 1920. 1852. 1922.
She's one heck of a wacky character. There is one episode that I thought was really good, and it's basically where Sophia has a friend who is struggling with thoughts of suicide. She kind of handles it in a pretty dope way.
I don't know what to do.
That's the point. If you're not sure, you can't change your mind tomorrow. You wanted me to be here for your death. How about letting me be here for your life?
Like a friend.
Like a best friend.
So there's that. But basically, what she does is she just comes in every now and then when the girls are just sitting there at the kitchen, and she just roasts the shit out of everybody, mostly Blanche for being a slut.
I treat my body like a temple. Yeah, open to everyone, day or night.
And she just annihilates Rose for being stupid.
Jeweler? Jewish? I wonder if there's a connection.
I think there's a connection between your brain and wallpaper paste.
But other than that, she kind of just like offers her quips and then she goes. She's I still like her. Like, she's still a dope character. But, you know, she's kind of like just the one that's like, I'm here. You know, she's like always there for comic relief. All right, and now we're gonna get to the character that I know a lot of you are probably wondering about. It's Betty White's character, Rose Nyland.
Don't realize how much you care for a man until you see him streaking toward the earth trying to grab a bird.
Now, Rose is an absolute sweetheart, and I love her, but she does give off a big old dumb bitch energy. A lot. Rose really does give the audience kind of a break to be like, oh, she's stupid. We can laugh at her, it's fine. Okay, another thing that I really like about Rose is that she does have the worst storytelling in the world, and you always know that her storytelling's about to start off because she's always like, well, back in St. Olaf, which is like the place that she's from in Wisconsin.
Back in
St. Olaf.
Oh, Rose, stop.
And the stories are never relevant. They never solve any problems. If anything, they piss everybody off a little bit more.
Rose, why is it when any one of us makes an observation, the first thing we hear from you is back in St. Olaf? Did it ever occur to you that we might be sick and tired of hearing back in St. Olaf, back in St. Olaf, back in St. Olaf?
Gee, no, I never realized.
Rose needs to be protected. She's a sweet bean. She gets frustrated when you talk about penises in front of her. Who doesn't?
I waited till my wedding night. No. Yes.
And?
And it was a surprise.
How is that possible? Another man showed up?
What I mean is, I had never seen a man before.
A man?
You know, a man.
No.
Yes.
What about your father? You mean you never saw your father?
My father? Oh, no, my father? Oh, my goodness, no, I would have simply died. What? Oh, you don't...
Easy,
oh,
easy,
But the only things I ever saw were the animals on the farm. You know, the bulls and the horses.
Tough act to follow.
And the thing I like about Rose a lot is that she's pretty dimensional and she's stupid 90% of the time. Just absolutely dumb. But there is moments in the show, especially like there's this one where she attempts to seduce Dorothy's current man, who earlier in the episode made a pass on Blanche, and then she tries to prove it to Dorothy by having him make a pass on her. However, she doesn't know how to flirt, and it's very, very bad. After that doesn't work, she notices that Dorothy walks in and she starts trying to trap this guy into admitting that he's a piece of shit, and she does it brilliantly. Oh my God.
You're just not my type.
But Blanche was.
That never happened.
Oh, yes, it did. Blanche told me all about it.
She made it up.
I don't think so.
Look, nothing came of it. I did apologize to her.
And you lied to me.
Dorothy,
You lied to me about Blanche.
I take it we're not playing golf.
We are not playing anything anymore.
She also has an episode where this dentist like sexually assaults her and then she like threatens to fucking kill him. It's brilliant. It's amazing. She's innocent, but she could kill a toddler if she wanted to. Like if she really wanted to.
Have you and Miles been baking together?
Rose, I would never do that to you, I swear.
Good. Because if I ever caught Miles with another woman in my kitchen, I'd...
She'd kill a fucking toddler. And she's part of one of my favorite episodes. I think it's called 72 Hours. And it's the episode where Rose finds out that because of a past surgery that she had, she might have been contaminated with HIV-infected blood. This is during the 80s, just in case I haven't made this clear about it. This is the 80s. This is the height of the AIDS epidemic. Nobody was talking about AIDS. So now we have these 4 old women breaking stereotypes about people who get AIDS. Because back then it was just known as like God's vengeance on the gays. But it showed Rose, who's seemingly innocent, having to go get tested and feeling shame for having to go get tested and feeling fear because nobody knew really what AIDS was back then. It was kind of just, this is what we think and we're gonna go on from there. And there's this really beautiful moment where Blanche kind of confides into Rose.
Well, this is the kind of thing I tend to keep to myself, but I want you to know. I got tested too, so I know what you're going through.
What did you do?
Well, I just had the test, and then I had a nice long talk with myself. And now when I'm with a man, now I know his complete history, and we take all the necessary precautions. I just wanted you to know I understand this is not an easy time.
The whole point that it's called 72 hours is because Rose has to wait 72 hours for the test to come back so she knows if she's HIV positive or not. So within the 72 hours, Rose starts kind of losing her mind and she's freaking out because, you know, who wouldn't be if you're getting tested for something you have no idea? It's like, it's terrifying. I can't imagine. And she has this moment where she breaks down and she goes to talk to Blanche. In this talk to Blanche, she basically brings up how Blanche is more sexually active than she is, for lack of better words.
Are you saying this should be me and not you?
No, I'm just saying that I am a good person. Hell, I'm a goody two-shoes.
AIDS is not a bad person's disease, Rose. It is not God punishing people for their sins.
You're right, Blanche.
Well, you damn straight I'm right. I'm sorry I yelled at
Oh,
you.
don't apologize. I mean, this is what I want. Oh, God, this waiting is driving me crazy. Blanche, when you were tested, how did you make it through?
Just kept it to myself and acted like a real bitch to everybody else.
No wonder we never knew.
She can also talk to chickens. There's a whole episode where she gets a chicken and she can talk to the chicken. The chicken plays piano. And y'all are freaking out because there's a monkey and friends. Betty White talks to a fucking chicken. Now we're going to go on to a bitch that I admire so damn much. It's the biggest slut in the whole nation, Blanche Devereaux.
I'm the biggest slut.
The number one thing that I love about Blanche is that she knows her self-worth, for sure.
Those are very nice cantaloupes.
Why, thank you. Isn't it amazing how I can feel so bad and still look so good?
She knows how beautiful she is. She knows how, she always teases the other girls because she's like, I am younger than you. And she says bosoms a lot. Like a lot.
Perky bosoms. My bosoms had the power to make music. Although my bosoms are perkier.
But Blanche is basically just this Southern belle who talks like this.
My God, you're Mr. Burt Reynolds.
And who does things like this. And it's so fun to watch her try to do things.
Oh.
There's a line that describes Blanche to a T, and it's when I think she's having issues with Dorothy or something like that, and she goes to Rose and she's like, I just feel like a terrible person, I don't know what to do. And Betty White has the most iconic line ever.
Oh, Blanche, you're not a terrible person. You're just horny all the time.
Come on, that's fucking brilliant. And y'all want to talk about fucking Christmas Eve and like fucking, what is it, Smelly Cat and all this stupid shit. When you have fucking Betty White saying this iconic ass line, I want that tattooed on my ass, okay? Nowhere else. And I want Betty White to tattoo it. I also love Blanche because she's always horny on Maine.
Too warm and too tingly. Warm and too tingly and too hot. All that manliness in one room, in one crowded room, one hot, crowded room. Everybody's steamy bodies all pressed up against each other. Sometimes I'd wake up in the middle of the night just sweating and screaming and clawing like a trapped panther, unable to release the lusty, steamy passions that constantly threaten to erupt from within me. Oh, Blanche, what's the matter? Oh, girls, I'm just in ecstasy. My body is tingling all over. You will never guess what just happened. My body feels like a Corvette up on blocks with its engine racing and the wheels just spinning and spinning with nowhere to go. I feel like I'm gonna explode. Dorothy, you have to help me. You have to do something.
Honey, there's nothing I can do, so get that look out of your eye and let go of my hand.
Every single woman in this show, even Sophia, the oldest one, don't get it twisted. They all fuck, okay? They all fuck and they all let you know about it.
Which one's a slut?
I love their conversations about them having sex. It's beautiful because you just don't see that happening with even women, let alone women that are old, you know? Even now we don't see that kind of stuff. Like it's weird to hear a grandma talk about wieners, but there's like a shit ton of STDs in nursing homes. That's like been new. There's this really cool episode that Blanche has where she's going back to school. It's a math class and Blanche sucks at math because all she does is fuck all the time. Blanche, stop. Pay attention to your work. Anyway, in hopes to get a better grade, she goes to her male professor. She explains to him that she's not doing too well in the class and if there's anything she can do. And basically what this professor does is like, if you sleep with me, you'll pass. If you don't, you'll fail.
This is my home phone number. If you really want that degree, you'll use it. You catch my drift?
Oh. Oh.
So then she goes home, she tells the girls about it, they're appalled, she's appalled, Sophia makes a joke about it. You know, they ask her what she's gonna do, she says she doesn't know, and then by the end of the episode, she pulls the bossest bitch move that there ever was.
You know, Professor Cooper, I've been thinking about what you said, and I have no intention of repeating this course.
Good. I'm glad you decided to take me up on my offer.
Oh, I'm declining your offer, but I do want to thank you.
For what?
Well, thanks to you, I studied all day and all night. And whenever I felt like giving up, I would just think about what kind of man you really are, and I'd study even harder. In fact, you made me so mad, I decided to get an A on this test come hell or high water. And I think I did.
You, and then she has one of the most iconic walkout lines that I've ever fucking heard in my entire life.
I, sir, am a lady. Maybe not the smartest lady in the world, but I do know that my self-respect is more important than passing your damn course. So you, sir, can kiss my ass.
There's another thing about Blanche that's really interesting that kind of comes up throughout the series, and it's the fact that her brother is gay. In one of the episodes, her brother comes out to her. She's not really cool with it at first, but then it's followed by she's supportive and she's like, ooh, we can both just be fucking men all the time. One more thing we have in common. By the end of it, she's okay with it.
I just want to say that I would be very proud to have any one of you date my brother.
But then he comes back, and he comes back with his partner, who he's planning on marrying. She's not really okay with that because she's like, why does he still have to be gay? I thought that was a phase, blah, blah, blah.
I don't really mind Clayton being homosexual. I just don't like him dating men.
You really haven't grasped the concept of this gay thing yet, have you?
There must be homosexuals who date women.
Yeah, they're called lesbians.
So she's kind of like, I don't support it. And again, she's kind of put into her place about it. And by the end of it, she gives them her full love and support.
Do you love him?
What do you mean?
Well, you see, he's my baby brother, and I've always felt it was my responsibility to look out for him, so I can't just let him get married to just anybody. So do you love him?
I do, very much.
Well, good, because so do I. I still can't say I understand what you're doing. I do intend to try to respect your decision to do it. I want you to be happy.
The thing about this show is that it doesn't look past human flaws. Like, all of these characters, everyone in this show has their flaws, you know? Like, Sophia is a gambler and she steals money from her daughter, but she'd do anything for anybody. And Rose is an absolute idiot, but she would die for her friends, and she sees beauty in the world that nobody else sees. Blanche is a giant slut and she's kind of conceited, but, you know, again, she loves the people that she's around, and she loves her friends, and she loves herself, and she's not ashamed of that, and that's beautiful. And this now leads me to the last character that we are going to be talking about today, the main bitch, the number one, the fucking, she may be called B, but she's a motherfucking A. That's a play on words because her name's B. Arthur. Dorothy Zbornak.
Where are you going? To either get ice cream or commit a felony. I'll decide in the car.
She's my fucking favorite character. She's a fucking queen. She's got the best style in the entire show. Anything that she wears, I'll pop those shoulder pads, baby, right out, and I'll just wear it. It looks soft. She's a bad bitch. Step on me. Step on me. R.I.P. Fucking step on me. She is a gilf. Dorothy, I know you're a fictional character, but step on me. Put me in my motherfucking place. Hit me. Hit me. Dorothy is this bad bitch from New York. She's a retired teacher. She's the one that's divorced in the group. Everyone else has lost their husbands. She got divorced because her husband, Stan, is a fucking dunce. He sucks, dude. He's the worst. And that's another thing I love about her, is that she gives him no qualm. And she's unapologetic about it, and it's fucking beautiful.
Hi, it's me, Stan.
Who cares? Stanley, what do you want?
Dorothy, I know you're still mad at me for spoiling our wedding, but I've got some news. Big news, and I thought you might want to hear about it.
You've misjudged me. What a surprise!
It's great to see you again.
What about me, babe?
Go hug a landmine.
She's a bad bitch. She doesn't fucking subtweet anybody, okay? She's fucking adding people. There's this one time where she has this friend who's super uppity, who winds up being anti-Semitic. She puts that bitch in her place.
Murray Gutman?
Oh, maybe we can get him to turn his jacket inside out. I'm sure the lining isn't as loud.
His tuxedo has nothing to do with it.
I don't understand.
He can't come to the club.
Why not?
Gutman.
What are you talking about?
Gutman. He's Jewish, isn't he?
I don't know. What difference does it make?
Oh, big difference. The Mortimer Club is restricted.
Barbara, why are you a member of a club like that?
Because they serve a great breakfast and the parking is free. Besides, it's their policy, not mine.
Yeah, but you tolerate it.
Dorothy, I tolerate a lot of things.
Boy, did I misjudge you. You know, Blanche and Rose were right. You are not the kind of person I want as a friend. Why don't you go to the Mortimer Club by yourself?
I don't understand.
Let me spell it out for you. Go to hell.
She has these lines, and the way that B. Arthur just delivers them.
I better not say anything till I've had my coffee. A slut and a moron.
You are feeling sorry for yourself. Sure, you're 5 years older. So am I. So is Blanche. All right, so... You have a few more wrinkles. So do I. So is Blanche. All right, you're a little thicker around the middle. So is Blanche.
Like, boy, she got a big dick. She do. This grandma got a big dick. I never thought I'd say that, but this grandma got a big dick. There's this one episode that I really like that I feel like is a topic that nobody really ever talks about, and it does affect the older generation a lot. It affects people of color. It affects women, and that's medical bias. And basically in the episode, what happens is that Dorothy's feeling tired all the time, lethargic. She doesn't feel like herself. She doesn't feel good. Everybody else is telling her, hey, you're not acting like yourself. She's like, you're right. Goes to a doctor, and this doctor basically brushes her off. Tells her that her issues aren't really that bad, that she's just getting old. She finally finds a doctor who listens to her and who's like, hey, you don't seem crazy. If you're saying something's wrong with you, then something's wrong with you. And have it be because doctors are heavily overworked. They see like 1 billion patients a day. More than half the time, people aren't really sick and they're just freaking out, and people are trying to tell you how to do your job and looking up on WebMD and all this kind of shit. I can't imagine how annoying that is. It's got to be super annoying. Anyway, so Dorothy finally has somebody that listens to her and tells her that she's not crazy and gives her an actual diagnosis. I think it's like chronic fatigue syndrome or something. Oh my God. When I tell you that a scene made me just nut. Oh, mama. Oh, mama, I was not prepared for it. She has this scene where she sees the doctor that initially brushed her off and made her feel crazy.
There are some things I have to say. There are a lot of things that I have to say. Words can't express what I have to say. What I went through, what you put me through. I can't do this in a restaurant.
Good.
But I will.
Look, miss.
Sit. I sat for you long enough. Dr. Budd, I came to you sick and scared, and you dismissed me. You didn't have the answer, and instead of saying, I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with you, you made me feel crazy, like I had made it all up. You dismissed me. You made me feel like a child, a fool, a neurotic who was wasting your precious time. Is that your caring profession? Is that healing? No one deserves that kind of treatment, Dr. Budd. No one. You know, if all of you at the beginning of your careers could get very sick and very scared for a while, you'd probably learn more from that than anything else. You'd better start listening to your patients. They need to be heard. They need caring. They need compassion. They need attending to. You know, someday, Dr. Budd, you're going to be on the other side of the table. And as angry as I am, and as angry as I always will be, I still wish you a better doctor than you were to me.
Just like, you know, like how my balls taste, doctor. She went off on this guy. She was like, fuck you. And who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that feeling of being like, I was fucking right, and she does it. She roasts the shit out of men. She fucks. Not as much as Blanche, but she fucks.
I'm the biggest slut.
And just her humor and just the strength that this woman just exudes and the energy that she, oh my God. Like, I just, Bea Arthur is an amazing fucking person. She was in the military as a woman in the early times. I think World War II, or was it Nam? Was it Korea? One of those. She, like all the other actors really on the show, was huge into animal rights. She was also huge into LGBTQ plus issues. It's amazing. What she's done in her life is amazing. Now, sadly, Betty White is the only person in the main cast that is still alive. The other women have sadly passed away. But just hearing these women talk and hearing about how they made these characters who they are and how insanely beautiful this show was. I mean, this show, Golden Girls is so fucking good. Why aren't you watching it? Fucking watch it, okay? Like, I know Friends got the... Okay, but Golden Girls has a bomb-ass theme song too, okay, that I won't play because I'll get copyright claimed. But I just think if you're gonna enamor over a show, don't make it Friends. I mean, you can make it Friends, I don't care. You can make it Friends and Golden Girls, or you can just make it Friends, it's fine. I just don't like it. You know, enamor over a show that's got somewhat of a good message and applies to, sadly, a lot of issues that are still going on today. It's a good show to vibe with. It's a good show. It's a good show, period. And I feel like people need to know this. The show covers more than what I had the chance to explain in this video. Again, I'm not gonna act like a lot of the stuff didn't age well. Some of it didn't. Some of it didn't. Some of it didn't. Anyway, I hope this somewhat made sense to you. If not, I do apologize. I'm very passionate about my girls. I guess this is just one long love letter from me to the Golden Girls. Just, you know, stay golden. And Betty White, you better not fucking die. I swear to God, if you die... How old is she? I think she's like 90 something, right? Holy shit, Betty White's almost 100. Betty White is 97 years old, okay? Enjoy this show while she's still around so we can give her the attention that she deserves, that all of these women deserve. R.I.P. to the legends. I don't know what this was. I hope some of you enjoyed it. If not, I apologize. You don't have to watch it. It's free. I'm making it for free. No charge. So I'm Amber, and that's all I have on this. So... Yep. Oh my God. Jesus. Okay, this is a fucking mess. Oh, I was about to shit myself, dude. I thought I wasn't recording the fucking audio. Bruh. I would have been pissed off. Haha, I hope that was just the wind because I heard my door creak and I think I'm about to get murdered. Come and take me, bitch. I hope you do. Bitch, I hope the fuck... that was stupid. That was stupid. Oh, fuck. That's my thoughts on marriage. Now are you in focus? I fucking hate you.